actually I meant for. We work with the California sea lion and we work with harbor seals. So we have a variety of animals that we work just at this stadium alone. And when we train these animals to be out in front of you guys, it takes a few years to get them there, right? So what we are going to share with you guys now are two sea lions. They just turned 4
Live
and 3 years old. They are going to demonstrate what they've been working on for you guys. Now, when we first introduced the sea lions, or any of those species I mentioned, to this environment, usually all of this is empty, right? You guys are enjoying another presentation, you're out riding a roller coaster, or having lunch. This is all empty, and we do our training sessions without you guys. That's kind of how we start this process. And then we start bringing them out, and you guys are coming in to sit down so they can see you guys. So this is a really integral part of the training, is having you here. So another behavior that we train that's really easy for these animals to kind of incorporate into this live presentation and basically what that means is they go from point A to point B. And point A is right over here next to me. And point B is right over there by that door. No handshake waving now. So that would be the B point we would call it. So we're going to ask these two sea lions. And the other special part about this new behavior for them is that we're not asking them to do it solo, which is the normal. We're actually asking them to go together. So that's Lando in the lead, and Dixon the Creole is trailing behind. Okay, so they're going to do that one more time. So you guys did a great job making some noise. This time, what do you do when you see a baby animal? Yes. So make that noise right when you see them, and you can be a little loud because this is the training process. Technically, they should be ignoring you, and then let's see what they do. So when you see them, make your noise. Here they're coming. I don't know. Some of you guys in the front can maybe see that little side eye they gave you guys. Oh, what was that? So that's great. They did not respond at all. And that's exactly what we do when we train. It's called desensitization. So everything that all of the stimulus or all of the noise and the movement and the colors of all of your clothes, all of that, they should just ignore all of that, right? So that's exactly what they did, and that's excellent. So the second part of this behavior is going to actually happen in the water. So whenever they're ready, they're going to just zoom through the water, and that kind of completes their segment. Here they come. Look at them go. They know what they're doing. That's amazing. So again, that's another behavior called, we call that behavior a scamper because they're scampering across the stage. But technically it's called an A to B. Again, you go from point A to point B. And we have the dry version where they just go on stage. And we also have the version where they go and travel through the water. And the fact that they're doing that together is really amazing. It's called a team contingent behavior. So that means work together with your partner and their roommates so they know each other really well. And they did that very, very well together. So let's give Lando Dixon a hand. They're on their way home. So that was excellent. So when you guys have seen, if you've seen our presentation before, whether you have or not, typically the very beginning of our presentation, we have a musical number and we have sea lions and otters crossing the stage. You now know that's called a scamper. And you probably have seen them go solo before, but them going together is very, very new, so that's very exciting. So our next animal we're going to bring out to kind of learn or do a learning session or training session, very similar to what we just did. We're bringing out Plunder, who just celebrated his 11th birthday in June. So Plunder is going to come out right where those doors are where Lando Dixon disappeared. Plunder's actually going to come out those doors, and we want Plunder to go all the way to this curtain. Now, for those of you who did the presentations in the past, we did Sea Lion High, we did Sea Lion Spotlight. All of those presentations had otter behaviors in them. This is a brand new otter behavior for this new presentation, and that is called a reverse scamper, right? So scampers usually go that way. Here he comes. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Okay, good, go Plunder. So, a little secret what Plunder is doing. So Plunder has shown us he sometimes is a little lost. So as you notice, was there a person there? Did you guys see that? Was there a person there helping? I was blind. Thank you so much. Yeah. So she was helping out for sure. So it sounds like we're going to do it one more time. Okay, perfect. So she's going to give a little less help. So Plunder has shown us in our live presentations, he does this in our normal scheduled presentations, he'll get a little lost. Sometimes he can go into the water and look around in the water a little bit. There you go. Good job, little guys. Now, that was excellent. So yeah, we can probably call that a success,
Bahala ko
right?
basta nga ko ani pang
So the Asian
hours
small
na ni.
otter is extremely fun to work with because they are very challenging to work with sometimes. They are like, the dog is like squirrel, like they're very in tune with everything in their environment, right? So they can be distracted pretty
Mo na ingon sa akong
easily. So
igagaw
as
mag-live
far
ko
as
na
training
piligay
goes,
ko
it
na
becomes
mag-live
a
ko
nice challenge.
bisan matulog daw
Really
ko na
focus
yung
them,
gibuhat sa unay ko
pay
eh.
attention to the
Hindi
trainer,
ba ko na siya okay unay mo kala hour ba ya so na kay 1
Asian small
hour so
otters
kung naay mo lang
are
taw
very
hulo ka
curious
bug sa 10
animals
hours
by
na ay
nature,
gibuhat
right?
ko
So
mariusip.
totally
Wait, i-delete ba yan niya dahil message distracted i-delete mo yan yung message. Nakarealize ako siya nga uy kasi kuanon
He focused very well there. He did an amazing job.
Ay, napag-auso
He
na
actually,
nila
what's funny
si
about him turning
Lupo.
11 last couple months ago, I remember when he was born, so it's so amazing to see how well he's doing. Now, speaking of amazing, this is probably one of the first times that we've done this. I have actually never seen it. I'm being honest with you, but I've never seen this actually happen in front of the people. But there's a chance that it may have. But we are going to bring out a harbor seal. Her name is Phoebe, and your friend's fans. I don't know if that's where that name came from, but her name is Phoebe, and she's about 6 years old, and she is just learning to do a scamper, just like you saw in Lando Dixon and Plunder, and that is to come out on stage, and you're going to see where we are or how we train this behavior, because you'll see that she's going to be with her trainer really the whole time. So it's about follow me, and then pretty soon what we do is we fade that person out, that help, and they kind of go on their own. Or I could be completely wrong. Oh, there she is. I'm sorry, I totally messed it up. She saw me. Oh, there she goes. I lied to you. Look how far. Look at Phoebe go. Now, harbor seals are also, like otters are naturally curious. These guys are naturally curious as well, but they're also naturally skittish animals. They're prey animals, right? So in their natural environment, they have to worry about all kinds of predators. So with that comes a sense of alertness all the time. So you'll see her; she's looking around. It is so amazing that she's out here. You guys made noise, and she was like, "Whatever, I'm going to go to my trainer over here," and that is very impressive for Phoebe. Because again, this is very new, and I did not know she wasn't being walked with a trainer. So look at that. She's amazing. I'm going to disappear more so I don't mess her up. We don't want any distraction. Me just talking on this microphone is also a bit stimulus for her to hear all the sights and sounds. That's Bree over there. You can hear her call her name. A lot of people ask, what's the first thing you train your animals when you start working with them? Well, their name is one of the very first things. So you can hear Bree calling her name. She knows that means her. So just like you have a cat or a pet at home for the first time, you want to teach them what their name is, right? So you repeat it over and over. We do something very similar so that when it's time to interact with them, we say their name and they know exactly who we're talking about, which is me. If you've seen our presentations before, obviously our Sealion stars are Clyde and Seymour. Those are character names. We don't actually have a Clyde or a Seymour. We have 7 sea lions that play the role of Clyde and Seymour on any given day. And in just a minute, we're going to bring out one of our Sealion stars. He turned 12 years old this year, and his name is Luke. And Luke is a rock star. I first met Luke when he was about, came up to my knee. He was a baby when I first met him. And my career took me over to work with the Dolphins for 4 years, and then I came back here, and he was an adult, and he was a star. So it was amazing to see that progress that he had. So you just saw a lot of learning, and actually I didn't realize we were doing a lot of scampers. That's essentially you saw 3 scampers in a row there. So what we're going to do with Luke is do something that is probably my favorite type of interaction, and that is just hanging out and building our relationship. So as you might understand, the relationship we share with our animals is very important, right? So we have a staff of about 20 people that works with our animals, and we all interact with them, and they need to have a relationship with each and every one of us. So in order to build that relationship, maintain that relationship, we do things like sessions like we're about to do, which is just to hang out with them. We get to know them, we get to know exactly what they like, what they don't really care for. For example, there are sea lions that like to eat ice, and there are some sea lions that like, please do not put ice in my mouth. So they're like, I don't want it, just give me the fish, I don't want ice. So they all have very different personalities. And if you ever taught anybody something, you know, that is another way to build a relationship, right? Is teaching. So obviously, anytime we train a new behavior, that is teaching them, and that is building our relationship with them as well. So there's many different kinds of ways that we can build our relationship with our animals. Probably the most important behaviors that we train our sea lions and otters and water seals and harbor seals are what we call husbandry behaviors. Hello, Nicole. Goodbye, Nicole. Oh, okay. So you're gonna take that prop and get it out of the way. And here comes Luke. And this is Ashley. Ashley was interacting with Phoebe, and now she's interacting with Luke. So again, Luke is a male California sea lion. Sea lions are found all along the western coast of North America. They can be found as far south as Central America or as far north as Alaska. So yes, they are the California sea lion, but they are pretty widespread in the west coast there. There are different subspecies of sea lions around the world. Sea lions are pinnipeds, which means it's Latin for feather-footed, because it looks like their flippers have wings. So, these are amazing animals to interact with because they're different than dolphins or killer whales because they can actually, they are as comfortable in the water as they are out of the water. So when you're interacting with them, we can interact with them in the water and we can also go outside the water. So that's kind of the fun of interacting, training sea lions. If you have a dog at home,